Hi everyone, this is Neel Raithatha, consultant, audiologist and director of ClearWax. Thank you for joining me in my latest video using the WAXscope and our new teardrop specula. So this is actually the almost finished version. When I first introduced the teardrop specula, we were using a prototype, and since then we've had it injection molded, which is the process that we use to manufacture the specula. And this is what we call our T1 testing. And it's come out really, really good. Just a couple of tweaks, hopefully a couple of weeks away, and we can start manufacturing in mass. And I've been obviously using these T1 samples that we've had made, and I didn't realize just the impact. I knew, obviously, I designed it for a reason to further improve the WAXscope, but I think this is just really taking it to the next level. So the key benefits is that with the previous specula, you had to insert it in a specific way, and that way only, and which is slightly different to how you normally insert a specula, truth be told. So with this, you insert it as you normally would, and the shape of it, so the clues in the name of teardrop. So the base, you can see the specula there, it's a bit more rounded. And as it approaches the top, it kind of tapers in a little bit, giving that teardrop design. And you can't see that top bit because that's out of screen. And that just enables you to kind of open up narrow ears a bit better, straighten the ear canal a bit better. But importantly, it allows you to insert the instrument from a slightly higher angle. So with the previous one, we had a slot. So that slot at the roof of the specula allowed you to insert the instrument from a higher angle. But because that slot was in a kind of about 12:30 if you're right-handed, and 11:30 and 12 if you're left-handed, you have to really get it in the slot, which is not a problem. But with this new teardrop specula, you've got a bit more flexibility, a bit more range at the top of the ear canal, so it doesn't have to be in a really specific position, and you can hold a suction tip in different ways as well, probably similar to what some specialists are already holding it. I've got a preferred grip because with that grip I can get a brace as well. Obviously we've always got a brace with the WAXscope hand or the iClearScope endoscope hand, but normally with suction tips, particularly in the UK, it's hard to get a brace because of the design of the suction tips. But with the Rise suction tips and handles alongside the WAXscope or the iClearScope even, I just find it so much better holding it the way I kind of hold it, which is the way I show our specialists that we train. So yeah, and also sometimes when you had the slot, you had some hairs at the entrance of the ear that can enter the slot sometimes. When you put the instrument in, it can push the hairs away, but with this, there's no hairs entering through that slot because there is none. So, and I think also, for some reason, it's even clearer than the original WAXscope. Now, I'm using the same WAXscope, so I don't know if it's because it's a full specula now and the light's being channeled evenly within the specula and into the ear. So when you had the slot, some of the light from the WAXscope would kind of disperse out the slot. And I mean, that wasn't an issue because it was still very, very clear. The difference with the new specula, I think it's even clearer than what it was before. So I've done quite a few interesting cases today. This has been one of them, narrow bendy ear canals, particularly at the entrance. So just used a bit of skin there, sticky skin, sticky wax like honey. So I'm just mopping up now. And then I'm going to use the correct. Also, I found that using the manual instruments is, again, a lot easier with the new specula, because previously, again, you had to get your hand right behind the slot to enter. Here I can hold it more from an angle, which is kind of more of the normal way we're kind of used to holding it. Just kind of gliding against the surface on the cartilage region here, so we can put a bit of gentle pressure. You can see it's coming away. I'm just going to get a bit more out, and we're going to get a nice lovely view of the eardrum. Again, it probably gives you a good idea how bendy the ear canal is. I'm going right to left and then straightening up again. So I'm just going to reduce the brightness slightly. Now at the bottom of the eardrum, it looks like bubbles. You can see that. That's not bubbles due to a middle ear infection. So like, for example, glue ear. So with glue ear, you can quite often see air bubbles trapped in middle ear fusion fluid. That shouldn't be there, the fluid. that's just the middle layer of the eardrum, the fibrous layer, and it's just kind of become a bit more opaque, and it's just giving these kind of bubble-like designs on the eardrums. It's not any fluid behind the eardrum, and I kind of verified that as well. We do a pressure test, we can see whether the eardrum is mobile or not. If there's fluid behind the eardrum, then the eardrum wouldn't be mobile. So it's just a pseudo appearance of bubbles, but it's actually, and again with the WAXscope we can really see that in detail. It's just the way the fibrous tissue is kind of calcified a little bit. So moving on to their right ear, there's a bit of a gap in the distance. But again, very soft, sticky wax. I like to use medical grade olive oil spray with this just to coagulate it. And that's what I did straight away. Otherwise it can block the inside of the suction tip. So what we're trying to do is separate it from the canal wall. So you can see I'm kind of flicking up. There's a thin layer of skin there that's attached to the sticky wax and also the canal where the hairs are at the base. I'm probably going to go a bit to the left, which you see, to the posterior canal wall. I'm just clearing the anterior section where the gap is. So I'm going to stretch open the ear with the specula. And I'll upload another video tomorrow, hopefully, using the WAXscope. One I just did it just about half an hour ago, actually. That was a really, really impacted ear. And again, quite a narrow entrance, and it was great how the WAXscope was able to stretch open the ear, and we can get a good full visual of the patient's eardrum. So you can see here, this is from the base. It's a thin layer of skin here that's attached to the underside of the wax plug. So I'm just separating that because that skin was also on the canal wall. It's like double-sided sticky tape. So just pulling that out of the ear. Bit of skin at the roof of the ear canals matted with some of the hairs. I'm just going to peel down at the top. And then we're going to get a good visual of the eardrum, hopefully, just getting some oil away from the hairs. So swinging the specula to the left and then back to the right, slightly straighten up the ear canal. So as we approach the eardrum, it does narrow a little bit, just increasing the brightness a tad. But all looks very healthy. I think I might just be mopping up some sticky skin here just from the second band. This is at the junction between the first and second band, so I'm just going to use the correct. And yeah, because of the magnification, just feels so much more confident using manual instruments, even deep in the ear. So I did upload a video last week, I think, where I used the ear hook very close to the eardrum, but with full confidence because I can really got the magnification. And I went in between the wax and the eardrum and gently lift it forward. That's the patient's eardrum. Again, you see the light reflex just hiding away from the anterior canal wall. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Take care, keep well.